हरि ओम सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु दीर्घायुष्मान् भव सर्वव्याधि निवारण प्राप्तिरस्तु स्त्रीभ्यः दीर्घ सुमंगली भव कन्यास्त्रीभ्यः शीघ्रमेव विवाह प्राप्तिरस्तु सर्वमंगलानि अभिवृद्धिर्भवतु तदास्तु तदास्तु तदास्तु. So now I shall continue this political wrong misinterpretations, especially in Tamil Nadu by certain groups of sanatana dharma. I am continuing that. Now, just go to the Vedic aspect. They all talk of caste system. That's the biggest problem for them. Where is the caste system? Some more examples I will give you than what I have given earlier. If you go to the Yajurveda, we do tarpanas. Pitru tarpanas we say. In one verse it will come towards the end. Jnata jnata vargadvaya pitruna swadhanamas tarpayami. So jnata ajnata, known pitrus and unknown pitrus also coming in my varga, I am satisfying them. Vargad. Then another verse is there which is very important. Esham na mata na pita na bhrata na bandhuhu na अन्यगोत्रिणः ते सर्वे तृप्तिम आयान्तु मया उत्सृष्टैः कुशोतकैः. कुशोतकैः. What is meant by kushotakah, kushotakaihi? With the impurities. This ku is always opposite, sometimes mostly negative words. Ku bandhuhu, if I say, is a bad relative. Tarkam, kudarkam, if I say kutarkam, means wrong arguments, illogical arguments. Tarkam may be logical arguments. So, this, if you put ku like that, so kushota kaihi means with impurities, yesham. Who are these yesham? These yeshams of those with impurities, who are not my father, mother, brother, not my bandhu, my relative, not na anya gotrinaha. I may have a lot of anya gotrinas means my father's gotras are one clan, my mother's gotras are one clan, so we can have what is known as anya gotrinaha. Even they are not included, but who are included? Esham, of those who are with impurities. So triptim, so ayantu. Ayantu means it comes from the root word ya, yati. So ayantu. Yati, yantu. Yantu is lot lakara. Lot lakara means a request or an order. Please come. A means, yati means go. He goes. Saha yati, he goes. A means comes. Ayantu, all of you come. Yati, bahuvachanam is yantu, but it is lot lakara. Yantu is lot lakara. Ayantu is coming. Ayantu should go, ayantu is coming. So all those things for triptim, ayantu, because what I am going to maya utsrishtaihi. Maya, by me. Aham avam vayam mama ava maya avabhyam tritiya vibhakti. By with sins and all. So maya, by me. What? Triptim, for the tripti, ayantu, please come. So, I am satisfying those, te survey, all those, I am satisfying, if, please come to me by these oblations, pouring the water to Pitrus. So, they will say, tripyata, tripyata, tripyata. Yum tripyata is again a lot lakara, means you should be satisfied, you should be satisfied. Tripyata, tripyata, is a bahuvachanam. Madhyama Purusha. Yum tripyata. That is understood. So, I am performing tarpana to others who are not my mother, not my father also, not my brother also, not my relation also, not the Anya Gotrinas, my mother's side, or my relatives, other Gotras, whom my friends and all, they have different Gotras. But I am giving oblation to others with impurities. Maya utsrishtaihi. Utsrishtaihi means presenting them with tripti, and it could also mean setting them free from all impurities. So for the tripti, you please come to me. Please come. I will satisfy is the artha. Maya utsrishtaihi kushotakaihi. Kaihi means tritiya vibhakti bahuvachanam. With all impurities. Kutarkaha, kucharita, bad practice. So this means even in the Vedic Tarpanas it is there that Vasudhaiva Kudumbam, not only I am selfish to satisfy my own Pitrus or the heritage of mine or my mother side heritage or my close friend side Gotras, but I am by my Tarpana I will set them free of those who are with impurities. Kushota Kaihi, with impurities of those, Yesham. So what does it mean? See the broad-mindedness of our Vedas, that means it is a Vasudhaiva Kudumbam. It is not a caste system. If it is caste system, I would not say with impurities. All, Yesham, all those, te sarve. So, the point is totally, now, another verse I will go. Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada Acharya, my Guru. Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada Acharya, I still worship him. What he says in Viveka Chudamani, once he was going in Kashi along with his followers, he was when a Chandala was crossing his path where he was going before him with 4 dogs. You all know, everybody knows that. And then Adi Shankara got angry. He said, the verses go like this: Anyavesham dharam drishtva gaccha gaccheti abravit Shankarosmi aham Chandala tam punah Praha Shankaram. Anyavesham, different dress, means a diplomatic way of saying is dirty dress. See, you know, these chandalas or madmen, sometimes in the streets we can find them with dirty, full of dirty dress, torn dresses and all. So instead of saying this, that is the highest form of scolding they can have in dharma, our dharma. So that's why he says Anyavesham, another dress, means scantily dressed, poor dressed, disheveled hair, like that. Anyavesham dharam, he was wearing dharam drishtva, after seeing that, gaccha gaccheti abravit, he said, I am Shankara, Shankarosmi, Shankaraha asmi aham. Shankarosmi aham Chandala tam punaha, again, tam, him, tam punaha praha Shankaram. Shankara scolded him, praha scolded him. So then what the Chandala replied? He smiled at Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada and said, Annamayat Annamayam Atava Chaitanyeva Chaitanyam Dvija Varya Tvam Vanchasi Kim Bruhi Gaccha Gaccha. Beautiful verse. Shankara was flabbergasted, he was stunned. Then only he knew, Atma, he knew, but he was made to realize, and he was surprised and stunned that this Chandala is talking Brahmatattvam. What is that? Annamayat Annamayam. Full of Anna means matter. Anna means food, but full of the body grown through food. This body, Annamayat Annamayam, like Vishnumayam, everything is matter grown through food only. Aharam, Bhojanam. Annamayat Annamayam Athava, or Chaitanyameva Chaitanya, my consciousness, my Atma. Dvija Varya, twice born, a Arya Putra. Arya is a noble word, like sir, esquire. Dvija, twice born. Twice born means in Brahmins, we have at one stage we have this kudumi, they say, hairs like that. What they say is tuft hairs or something they say in English. Everything. That is one, or the Namagaranam can be the first one. The second one is the Janeyu, the sacred thread, that Pavitra Dhara. So, the sacred thread, that is a second. So, you are born second time. So, that's why they say Dvija Varya, Tvam, you, Vanchasi, you are telling Vanchasi. Madhyama Purusha uses Ekavachanam. Tvam Vanchasi, Kim Bruhi Gaccha Gaccha. Who are you telling to go? Either you are telling my body to go or my Atma to go. Shankara was stunned. This Chandala, the Adivashi, this tribal, he's really enlightening me, though with fresh, a concept, fresh, which is already prevalent in the Vedas, but again bringing to my notice and attention that Atma is different from the body. So how could We have all these things. Now, how could the caste system be applied, sir? How could they say, I am a Shudra? That's what the Hindu caste system talks about. I am a Shudra. Only Hinduism brings. Shudra is the highest caste as per Hinduism. Shudra has Sukham Avapnuyat. I told him in Vishnu, I told you all in the last session, Vishnu Sahasranamam. Sukham Avapnuyat. You offer flowers to the god on his feet only. Now, Shudra, how it came, a small explanation. King Sudas was there in the Peshawar belt, that Pakistan Peshawar Indus belt. He was fighting and his army men were called Shudras. Suda's army, it is called Battle of 10 Kings, very old Vedas, and Indra helped him to win. So these Suda's army men, army personnel, were hardworking, or they were doing the work of even agriculture plus army in those days. There was no proper segregation. So they were called Shudras, and they were hardworking people, and you throw petals on the feet of the Shudras. So how Shudras can be inferior? They are the most superior than the Brahmanas. You don't throw petals on Bhagavan's mouth or Bhagavan's head. You only throw petals on Bhagavan's feet. See, these people, without knowing all these things, especially in Tamil Nadu, they misinterpret the Vedas. If the practice is different from that, how the Sanatana Dharma written several times over several ways, how it can be responsible for your practice? If a man in a Sanatana Dharma kills another man, how can the Dharma says ahimsa? Bhagavan says, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verse 1, 2, 3. I have given clear. You can go through my there are 280 videos of mine. You please go through that, click the videos in the YouTube, and then you will get my drops. How can the Dharma be responsible if the practice is bad? Jesus Christ, in the Bible it says, love thy neighbor as they love yourself. Now if you take the Russia-Ukraine war, both are strong Christians, both the nations. Where does the Russian say, love their neighbor as they love thyself? Where do they do? So the practice, that doesn't mean Bible is wrong when the verse is wrong. Their practice is wrong. So how can the Bible or the Dharma Shastra or the Sanatana Dharma be responsible if you are behaving in a wrong way? And Acharya said, I will cut the head of the fellow who told like this, like Sanatana Dharma has to be eradicated. That is totally wrong. Acharya is totally wrong. He is not practicing Sanatana Dharma, which says ahimsa everywhere. That is why Mahatma Gandhi was practicing ahimsa. Mahatma Gandhi was a Sanatani. That's why Einstein said, generations to come, it is scarce to believe that such a man walked on the face of this earth in human flesh and bones. Einstein spoke of Mahatma Gandhi, not of Jesus Christ or Prophet Muhammad or anybody else, Akbar or Kanishka. Einstein spoke about Mahatma Gandhi because he was practicing non-violence as enunciated, stated in Bhagavad Gita or in very many places of Vedas, ahimsa. So, if the practice of a particular individual or a particular group is against Sanatana Dharma, though they call themselves as Sanatanis, they can call them anything they want. Who's going to say no? How can we say no? That doesn't become that Sanatana Dharma tells like that. Why do you misinterpret, my dear politicians of Tamil Nadu, the philosophy of Sanatana Dharma? The caste system is like this. How is the caste system? The Brahmana, the Kshatriya, the Vaishya and the Shudra. They are the top 4 class. Now the Chandala, which Adi Shankara himself referred to, is an Adivashi. They are not well dressed like these 4 Varnas because they are in the tribals. It's nature. The Pygmies of South Africa, if you take, the Mayans, the Aztecs of South America, the Incas of South America, the Todas of Nilgiris. These are all tribal people who are living for generations in forest. The Red Indians. So they are supposed to be not formally, nicely dressed with a combed hair like the city people, modern day city people. So they are being reformed by Shankaracharya himself, reformed Chandalas. Now there are the other sect called Charvakas. These Charvakas are worse than the atheists. Atheists, there is no complaint. They don't believe in God, but they believe in Dharma. They believe that you should not do wrong. You should not do injustice. See, Richard Dawkins is an atheist. Most of the NASA scientists may be atheists, though they follow yoga, they follow Bhagavad Gita, but they don't have a particular way of worship. But that doesn't mean they are bad. They are all well-informed, lawful people who live by the rule of law, justice to everyone, social justice. They are not to be abhorred or criticized. The person who says that God is, those who believe in God is a fool, they are charvakas. Who are charvakas? You live your life and enjoy your life. There is nothing after death. The life can be enjoyed by stealing, robbing, adultery, killing, anything. But as long as you enjoy it and live your life. These people are the poisonous people. They are called charvakas even in olden days. Buddha abhorred charvakas. Charvakas should never be treated properly. They all have to be imprisoned, because if they talk enjoyment through immorality or illegality, anything outside the rule of law, anybody, they have to be brought to justice by the courts, by the legal system prevailing in a country. Is it not? You cannot violate the principles of law. So these charvakas are the worst people who criticize God. Criticize very badly, and they are not to be accepted really in a society. Buddha never accepted charvakas. No, none of us will accept charvakas. Chandalas are the other group outside the varna who are not educated as much as these four varnas: the brahmanas, the kshatriyas, the vaishyas, and the shudras. Now, people say the Brahmanas are the highest in cadre. Who said? Because physically, if they come from the mouth, which chants a Veda, does it mean highest? Where do you give respect, sir? If your man structure is, head is on the top, shoulders are on the next stage, and the stomach is on the third stage, and the legs are on the fourth stage, you think that the Brahmanas are the highest. You think. But every Brahmin is under the service of a king saying salam, salam, salam. Poor archakas, they are waiting for something to get in their plates for them to exist. Just by physical explanation that the Brahmanas come from the mouth of the Purusha, he is the highest. Who said so? Physically you are telling. But the legs are the strongest. The legs are the powerful physically. The shoulders, if you want to swing a sword, your shoulders should be powerful. So physically the position advised is only for representation. It does not mean hierarchy of course. It is your foolishness to assume it is hierarchy. And where do we throw flowers? Again I repeat, to the feet of the Lord. To the feet of the Lord. You see, what is very important is some history I would like to state. What had happened is, there was some history in Tamil Nadu. Yes. See, 1925, a Congress leader or a Congress representative who formed a Karagam, he was a Telugu man, not a Tamil man, so he called Dravida Karagam. Because he himself had a Telugu name, and the Telugu say Mudaliyar cannot be a Kannadiga, a Iyer cannot be a Kannadiga. Is it not? It is like a Mukherjee cannot be a Tamilian. Mukherjee means Bengali. So, being a Kannadiga, he called it as Dravida to include everybody. So that because he settled in Tamil Nadu. So, what happened? He was in 1925 in politics along with Rajaji and Shri Honorable Satyamurthy. And those people knew English, but this gentleman was not knowing English. So if you have to talk to Nehru, either Hindi or English, because it's national politics, Indian National Congress, national politics to obtain freedom from the British. And what happened? By practice, by culture, birds of the same feather flock together. That is a ruling. That's common sense. The group of doctors have their association. They would not mingle with auto drivers. Auto drivers will not mingle with pilots. Professors will not mingle with coolies, laborers. By practice, a temple priest who does the archana will not mingle with high-class industrial Brahmin businessmen. Because birds of the same feather flock together is a general ruling. They all as a group. It's called the group theory. If they do not want, let them go and learn. What is a group theory? What is a organizational theory? That is by law of nature. So, in such a case, these two people, very stalwarts leaders of our Indian political system, Shri Rajaji Mahodaya and Shri Satyamurthy Mahodaya, they were flocking together, and in some meetings they may not mingle well with this Ramasamy Naikar, maybe. And probably he was also a non-vegetarian, Ramasamy Naikar, but these two people are very strict vegetarians. That much I have checked. Very strict. And what is their practice about untouchability? I am again coming there. Even in my house, suppose in the house of Rajaji or in the house of Satyamurthy, women having menstrual cycle will have a separate bathroom and a separate even room to sleep. They cannot enter the main house. Even in my house, my father built a separate bathroom, toilet for women in menstrual cycle. And secondly, in my house also, my mother cannot enter the kitchen or the bathroom or the puja room without going to the bath, taking bath. After taking bath only, she can even cook, boil the milk, enter the puja room. My grandmother in her time was very strict. Once I happened to play around and accidentally touched my grandmother, who had taken bath and was entering the puja room. She again went to the snana room and took bath again to purify herself. I am her own grandson. But that is the practice. If an outsider comes and sees, they would think, oh, they are practicing on me. It is not practicing on anybody. It is their self-practice for self-cleansing, because they have a certain code of rules for them. A pujari cannot, in our temples, cannot go in a tie and suit. He has to go in dhotis only. Panchagajam, they will say, that type of formation they enter. Not even a normal dhoti wearing, with holy ashes on their head. That is a rule. They will not even permit me to enter the Garbhagraham of main idols. Even I am a Brahmin. I cannot enter inside and touch the Garbhagraham, the main idol. These are all codes, sir. You cannot criticize the code. Even amongst the own Brahmin community, we are practicing what is known as untouchability in your terms. Now, if anybody man outside man, comes without taking bath into the house, they will say, oh, it is untouchable. The same practice adopted on their own children, on their own siblings, is being adopted also, equality. Because he is from outside, he does not get a special permission to enter the puja room, enter the kitchen room or whatever it is, enter the house, because basically you have to have your bath. And in those days they preferred vegetarians. If you go to certain towns in Karnataka, pure temple towns, they will ask you whether you are a vegetarian in order to mingle with them. If I am a Brahmin and if I am a non-vegetarian, I cannot go there. I have to declare. They would not allow. And I should have known the Vedas. I should do the Sandhya Vandana. That doesn't mean they are practicing untouchability. It is a rule. Just like I have to drive my car in the left in India and right in the US. That's a rule. So if you see this and misinterpret, stating their untouchability is there, see, that system could have, that is your mistake. That system could have developed in 200, 300 years during British rule, when people who are handsome and good looking were one sect, and some people who are very poor without no clothes are all chandalas. They are chandalas. They don't call them as charvakas. Charvakas may be rich, but they are totally immoral people. Whereas Shudras who are doing the field work in agriculture is a poor return skill, operation, when compared to industries and businesses and trading. So they were poor and they would be economical in their way. If they are looking back, oh, he is untouchable. That is, you have the others, the British have developed, because if you want to see the British, you have to be well dressed. You have to, in England now, you have to wear the hat, you have to wear the suit, you have to wear the tie. Especially if I know in the 30-40 years back. Otherwise you cannot enter a executive room. That is a rule. So these are all wrong interpretations of these people with jaundiced eye, because Keith Davies says those who perceive as a prejudice see in that way because their own prejudice destroys their perception. So if you think that, oh, he's saying untouchable if I go to a Brahmin house, you are not untouchable, you are not clean, or you are a non-vegetarian, or you are not. No, everybody goes everywhere. You have to be clean. You cannot wear shoes and chappals inside the house or inside the temples. That is the rule of the law. That's the rule of the system of the Sanatana Dharma we are practicing. In what way does it has relevance to untouchability imposed on Shudra? Shudras are the highest form. Just don't treat it physically. That's what I want to say. Therefore, the political misinterpretations of Sanatana Dharma is absolutely wrong and hatred. One says in Manusmriti, they are telling about women what will happen to them. Sir, Manusmriti, in one or two verses, Manu has said that if women are not properly attended to, they may go astray. Yes, two verses are there. That is Syat, may. Syat is Vidhi ling lakaraha, may. We have Ashir ling lakaraha, may also. Bhuyat, Syat and all will come. But if you have Lot lakaraha, Astu, Stat, that means she dil. So he doesn't say that we will go astray. Naturally, any woman, if we don't throw her without any respect on the road or neglect her totally, then she has to live her life. No, modern thinking is there. That's what in US and other forward countries they are thinking and doing. But in Manu Shastra it was said like that. He never said women are those unparliamentary words. I don't want to talk. But these people in Tamil Nadu, certain political groups, they have no other way. They will only justify their hatred by talking all wrong things and misinterpreting wrongly. That is the sadness of it. All wrong meanings. The meanings are true, I understand. If you know Sanskritam and you know the correct meaning, I understand. Yes, it is stated. But with all wrong meanings, if you start talking like this, it is sickening. It is creating division amongst the society. You are now creating the caste divisions between various people in India. You have the hatred for North Indians. You don't support them. That's all. Why do you criticize and say they have to be eradicated, the entire Sanatana Dharma? That is a sweeping statement. I think they will now come to some rational thinking. Again I tell them what Thiruvallur said. Inna Saidarai Uruttal Avar Nana Nannayam Saidu Vidal. So we Sanatanis, practitioners of Sanatana Dharma, don't even criticize them. Let us have the Apaishunam. Instead, let us try to correct them. Let us bring sense into them. Let us do good to them so that they will feel that Sanatanis are really good people. That is the approach we have to take. With this, I conclude this session. Till such time, Bhuyat, Tavat, Shubhamangalam, Hari Om.